Have you ever taken a sip of Coca-Cola and thought to yourself, why does it taste different in a glass bottle compared to a can? Some people swear by the crisp, refreshing bite of Coca-Cola from an aluminum can, while others claim that nothing compares to the smooth, nostalgic experience of sipping it from a glass bottle. It's one of those timeless debates that sparks passionate conversations. In fact, studies show that about 60% of consumers in the United States prefer Coke in aluminum cans, mainly because they're portable, lightweight, and chill faster in the fridge. But there's no denying that glass bottles carry a certain charm and luxury, reminding us of Coca-Cola's early days. Whether you're team can or team bottle, there's one thing we can all agree on. Every sip delivers the iconic taste of Coca-Cola that people have loved for generations. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of Coca-Cola can production. From giant rolls of aluminum to the shiny red can you crack open on a hot day, the journey is packed with innovation, science, and sustainability. So, sit back, grab your favorite Coke, and let's explore how one of the world's most famous beverages gets its perfect packaging. The story of Coca-Cola in cans begins in the 1950s. At that time, Coke was still mainly sold in glass bottles, which were heavy, breakable, and not ideal for people on the go. America in the mid-20th century was fast-moving, with families traveling more, young people seeking convenience, and supermarkets expanding nationwide. Coca-Cola realized that if they wanted to stay ahead of the curve, they needed a new way to deliver their product. Aluminum was just emerging as a promising material, lightweight, durable, and easy to mass-produce. In 1955, Coca-Cola experimented with its first aluminum cans, but there were huge challenges. They had to ensure the metal didn't affect the drink's signature taste, while also preventing light and air from sneaking in and ruining its freshness. After years of research and innovation, aluminum cans became a staple, and today they're a symbol of convenience and efficiency. On top of that, aluminum is infinitely recyclable, making it one of the most environmentally friendly packaging choices available. Every time you recycle a can, it can be back on shelves as a brand new Coke can in just about 60 days. But what makes aluminum so special? Unlike many other materials, aluminum doesn't degrade when recycled. That means the can you're drinking from today could have once been part of an airplane wing, a car engine, or another Coca-Cola can decades ago. Recycling aluminum saves up to 95% of the energy it would take to produce new aluminum from raw bauxite ore. That's an incredible savings when you consider the billions of cans produced every year. Coca-Cola takes sustainability seriously, and aluminum cans are a major part of their plan to reduce their carbon footprint and protect natural resources. When you think about it, every time you toss a can into the recycling bin, you're contributing to a cycle that's been going strong for decades, keeping Coke cans in circulation while cutting down on waste. Now let's get into the process of making a Coca-Cola can. It all starts with massive rolls of aluminum, each weighing several tons. These shiny rolls arrive at factories from trusted suppliers who guarantee the metal meets strict quality standards. The rolls are unspooled and cut into thin sheets, which are then fed into powerful stamping machines. Imagine a giant cookie cutter, but instead of dough, it's working with aluminum. With incredible pressure, the machine presses the sheets into shallow cup-like shapes. This is just the first step in forming the familiar cylindrical can. The cups then move through a process called drawing and ironing, where they're stretched taller and thinner, transforming into the sleek, lightweight cans we recognize. At this stage, the can walls are surprisingly thin, about the thickness of a human hair, but still incredibly strong thanks to the way the aluminum is processed. Once the basic shape is formed, the cans are trimmed to a uniform height. Precision here is key, because any variation could cause issues later during filling and sealing. After trimming, the cans undergo a cleaning process. They're washed thoroughly to remove any lubricants or debris left from the shaping machines. Then comes one of the most exciting parts: printing. Giant printers apply the vibrant red background, the iconic white Coca-Cola script, and any special edition designs. The printing process is so precise that even the tiniest detail of the logo is sharp and consistent, no matter how many millions of cans are made. After printing, the cans receive a protective coating on the inside to make sure the beverage never comes into direct contact with the metal. This coating is a critical step. It ensures that the taste of Coca-Cola remains pure and unaltered, exactly as the recipe intends. With the cans now looking like the ones you'd recognize on a store shelf, it's time for one of the final but most important steps: sealing the top. The open cans travel down conveyor belts and are filled at lightning speed with chilled Coca-Cola. In fact, modern filling machines can process thousands of cans per minute, ensuring freshness and efficiency. The lids, which are also made of aluminum, are placed on top and sealed with a technique called double seaming. This creates an airtight seal that locks in carbonation, preventing any leaks and keeping the Coke fizzy and refreshing. The entire process is a marvel of engineering, combining speed, precision, and hygiene on an industrial scale. After sealing, the cans are carefully inspected using advanced sensors and cameras. Any can that doesn't meet the quality standard, whether it's a tiny dent, an imperfect seam, or a misprint, is automatically removed from the line. Coca-Cola's reputation depends on consistency, so every single can that reaches consumers must be perfect. The approved cans are then packed into cartons or trays, wrapped and stacked onto pallets. From there, they're shipped to distribution centers and then onto grocery stores, vending machines, gas stations, and stadiums across the United States and beyond. Think about it. The can you casually grab from a cooler at a barbecue or a gas station is the result of a massive high-tech operation involving thousands of people and machines working seamlessly together. Coca-Cola's success with aluminum cans didn't just stop at the classic red Coke. Over time, the company has released countless variations, including Diet Coke, Coca-Cola Zero Sugar, cherry and vanilla flavors, and even limited edition cans celebrating holidays, sports events, and cultural moments. Collectors around the world hunt down rare Coke cans, treating them as pieces of history. These cans aren't just packaging, they're part of Coca-Cola's global identity, a symbol that connects people across generations and cultures. Today, more than 2.2 billion servings of Coca-Cola products are enjoyed every single day in over 200 countries. That's a staggering number, and it's made possible by a network of 225 bottling partners and more than 900 bottling plants worldwide. To support this massive system, Coca-Cola even created a bottling investment group in 2006 to help partners grow sustainably and maintain the highest quality standards. When you open a Coke can, you're not just getting a drink, you're holding the result of decades of innovation, billions of dollars in investment, and a commitment to sustainability. It's incredible to think about the journey, from raw aluminum mined and recycled around the world, to giant factories where machines shape, print, and seal cans at blinding speeds, to the moment you pop the tab and hear that satisfying fizz. Whether you prefer the nostalgic elegance of a glass bottle or the grab-and-go convenience of a can, Coca-Cola has made sure the experience is always refreshing and memorable. And while the debate over which tastes better will probably never end, one thing is certain. The humble aluminum can has revolutionized the way we enjoy soft drinks, turning Coca-Cola into not just a beverage, but a cultural icon. Imagine walking into a grocery store on a hot summer afternoon, reaching for a cold Coca-Cola, and popping open that familiar red can. The crisp fizz and refreshing taste are instant, but have you ever stopped to wonder how that little aluminum can came to life? Behind every sip of Coke is an incredible journey of engineering, precision, and innovation that transforms flat sheets of aluminum into one of the world's most recognizable beverage containers. This is not just a story of a can, it's a story of modern manufacturing at its finest, a process that moves so quickly and with such accuracy that it seems almost unreal. Today we're going behind the scenes to uncover exactly how a Coca-Cola can is made, and trust me, once you know the scale of this operation, you'll never look at your soda the same way again. The process begins with flat, shiny sheets of aluminum, each one destined to be transformed into thousands of cans. These sheets are fed into colossal stamping machines that work at mind-blowing speeds. Try to picture it, a machine capable of producing more than 3,000 cans per minute. That's fast enough to cover an entire football field in less than 20 minutes with nothing but freshly formed aluminum cans. As the stamping presses pound away, the aluminum is stretched and shaped into tall, thin cylinders that start to gleam under the factory lights. Lined up in endless streams on conveyor belts, they look almost alive, like rivers of liquid metal flowing into the future of refreshment. Of course, simply forming the cylindrical bodies isn't enough. Each can needs to be strong enough to hold the pressurized fizz of Coca-Cola without bursting or leaking. To make this possible, the freshly formed bodies go through advanced welding systems that fuse the metal seamlessly. Modern welding technology ensures every single can has a flawless seam that can withstand incredible internal pressure. It's almost like giving each can a hidden backbone, a line of strength that keeps the integrity of the drink safe for months until it's finally cracked open by a thirsty customer. Next comes the critical step of shaping the bottom and the neck of the can. The bottom is pressed into a slightly concave shape, which isn't just for aesthetics, it's designed with physics in mind. This small indentation helps distribute pressure evenly, ensuring the can hold carbonated soda without bulging or popping. Meanwhile, the top portion of the can is carefully narrowed down into a tapered neck. This narrowing allows the lid to fit perfectly later on, creating the familiar opening that we all know so well. The machinery responsible for this process is a marvel of modern engineering, operating with the precision of a watchmaker but at speeds that are nearly impossible for the human eye to follow. With the structure of the can now complete, it's time to make sure every single one meets the highest standards of quality. Enter the inspection phase where nothing is left to chance. State-of-the-art optical and ultrasonic sensors scan each can, looking for even the tiniest defects. Imagine a flaw as small as a human hair. These sensors can detect it. If a can doesn't pass the test, it's immediately removed from the line. Coca-Cola sells billions of cans each year, and every single one has to be flawless. In a process this automated, technology is the unsung hero, ensuring that consumers never have to deal with a leaking can or an imperfect seal. Once the cans have proven they're structurally sound, the next step is about taste and preservation. Pure aluminum, while strong, can react with liquids, and no one wants their Coke tasting metallic. To prevent this, each can is sprayed with a special protective coating on the inside. This lining acts as a barrier, keeping the soda's flavor pure and fresh while maintaining the integrity of the can. The coating must be applied evenly, reaching every corner and curve of the interior. Think of it as the invisible armor that guarantees Coca-Cola tastes exactly as it should, no matter when or where you open it. Now comes the moment when the can starts to look like something we recognize. The exterior printing process begins, and this is where Coca-Cola's iconic branding takes center stage. Using advanced high-speed printers, the classic red and white design is applied with pinpoint accuracy. Each logo, each word, each piece of information has to be perfectly aligned. It's more than just decoration, it's brand identity. Coca-Cola has built one of the most powerful brands in history, and its can is part of that story. Imagine thousands of bright red cans rolling off the line, each one instantly recognizable from a distance, each one carrying the same promise of refreshment that Coca-Cola has delivered for over a century. But the process still isn't finished. Once the branding is complete, the cans head toward sealing. Before the lids are attached, they too are carefully inspected to ensure they are perfectly formed. These lids are designed with a scored tab that allows us to crack open a can with one satisfying pull. The can body and lid come together in a precise sealing machine that crimps the edges so tightly that not a single bubble of carbonation can escape. This seal is crucial. Without it, the soda would go flat long before it ever reached store shelves. After sealing, each completed can undergoes another round of inspection. This final quality check ensures that the lid is perfectly attached, the pressure is correct, and the can is safe to ship. In many ways, this is like a dress rehearsal before opening night. Every detail has to be perfect before the cans are released to the world. Once the final inspection is complete, the cans are ready to be packaged. High-speed systems group them into 6-packs, 12-packs, or larger cases depending on where they're headed. Packaging machines wrap them tightly, keeping them safe during transport. Pallets stacked high with thousands of cans are then loaded onto trucks, ready to make their way to distribution centers. From there, they're shipped to grocery stores, restaurants, vending machines, and stadiums across the country and even around the globe. The Coca-Cola can you grab at your local store may have been produced hundreds of miles away just days before landing in your hand, fresh and fizzy as ever. But the story of a Coca-Cola can doesn't end the moment you finish drinking it. One of the most important chapters in its life begins after it's emptied. Coca-Cola has made sustainability and recycling a cornerstone of its operations. Aluminum is one of the most recyclable materials in the world. It can be melted down and reused indefinitely without losing quality. Once you toss an empty can into a recycling bin, it can return to the factory, be melted down, and be turned into a brand new Coca-Cola can in as little as 60 days. That means the can you recycle today could be back on a store shelf, filled with fresh Coke just 2 months later. This closed-loop system not only reduces waste but also conserves natural resources and energy, making aluminum cans one of the most environmentally friendly beverage containers available. When you think about it, the Coca-Cola can is more than just packaging. It's an icon of design, engineering, and sustainability. Every stage of its creation, from stamping and welding to coating, printing, sealing, and recycling, represents decades of innovation and refinement. The result is something that feels simple to us as consumers but is actually one of the most remarkable feats of modern manufacturing. Each time you pop open a cold Coke, you're not just enjoying a drink, you're experiencing the result of millions of hours of research, development, and production precision. So the next time you grab a can of Coca-Cola from the fridge and hear that familiar hiss of carbonation, remember the incredible journey it has taken. From raw aluminum sheets transformed by machines working faster than the human eye can track, to rigorous quality checks that guarantee perfection, to the sustainability efforts that give the can a second life. It's a process that blends technology, craftsmanship, and environmental responsibility. Coca-Cola isn't just selling soda. It's delivering a promise of refreshment in one of the most engineered and recognizable packages on Earth. And that, perhaps, is what makes every sip feel so satisfying.